And joining us right now, live from the New England Revolution, my friend, your star out there in MLS, Teal Bunbury. Teal, welcome again, my friend.
How you doing, Anthony?
I'm very good, my friend. Great to have you on. Anticipation, excited for this good matchup this weekend. Your boys will be taking on TFC, Giovinco, and Bradley. What has the coaching staff said to you and the boys to get you ready and focused on this big match this weekend?
Yeah, like you said, it's going to be a big match. It's going to be exciting. The biggest thing that our coaches are saying right now is to really focus on ourselves, because we know about the Giovincos and the Bradleys and Altidore and you know what force TFC can be. But the biggest thing, you know, we're playing at home, so we got to set the pace and just focusing on our play. And that's been the biggest thing this week leading up to this big matchup. And, you know, it's an in-conference game, so it's huge for us, and it's huge for both teams. So I think it's going to be an exciting game.
Teal, let's be honest. Let's put the cards on the table. For me, the guy that sets the pace, that mixes the drink is Lee Nguyen. This guy's a warrior. He'll go through a brick wall for his teammates. The guy, all he does is do everything he can to help his teammates and get his club to the highest level and winning a championship. It's got to be a treat to play with a warrior like that.
Oh, most definitely. I mean, Lee is not only, you know, his ability on the ball, but a lot of things off the ball that he does. And, you know, at times teams are trying to figure him out, and at times it kind of opens up things for other players. So that's a sign of a big-time player when teams are so concerned about you that, you know, it's opening up space and opening up time for other players. But even then, he's still doing unbelievable things on the ball and creating a lot of things for our team. So he's very, very talented in what he does, and each game he tries to give the most for the team.
Teal, a young backline there with Woodbury and Andrew Farrell, but Andrew Farrell to me is going to be a star in this league if he isn't already. But they've got to feel comfortable playing right in front of Bobby Shuttleworth. Here's a guy that to me is the best kept secret in the goalkeeping department in MLS. It's got to be comfortable for you and Lee and Juan Agudelo to do your job up front, knowing that these youngsters have really grown into their position.
Oh, yeah, it's huge. I mean, like you said, Bobby Shuttleworth is having an unbelievable start to the season, and it's not surprising. I mean, he's been a top-notch goalkeeper for many years now, and he's just showcasing what he can do. And it's great seeing youngsters like Andrew Farrell and London Woodbury step up. And I think we have a lot of guys on our team that are young, and then some guys that come off the bench that produce for us as well. So we have a very balanced and a lot of depth team here. That makes it huge because, you know, this season in the MLS is long. And, you know, there's injuries that can happen at any moment. So just being prepared and being ready, I think it's great to have the depth that we have on our team.
Teal, you talked about injuries, and you got a special player who's gone through a special journey. That's Charlie Davies. I don't understand for the life of me why he doesn't get the respect he's deserved when it comes to being called up to the national team of USA. I'm shocked. I'm surprised that he wasn't called up, to be honest, I believe a couple months ago to the January camp. Here's a guy, all he's ever done since he's played, aside from that massive injury, is put the ball in the back of the net, hustle, give you everything he's got every time he's out there, and he's shown the door by Jurgen Klinsmann and his staff. I'm a bit perplexed. I don't know about you.
Yeah, you know what? I feel the same way, to be honest. And I know it's always tough, you know, when you're a manager and you're a coach and you have to make decisions. And I'll always respect those decisions from different coaches. But I feel like as players and being a teammate of Charlie's and him being one of my closest friends, and I consider him a brother, you know, I know what he's worth to a team, and I know the hard work he puts in. So for me, it's just it's crazy how he doesn't even get a sniff, doesn't even get a look with the national team, where, you know, last year, you know, he's our Golden Boot winner, and like you said, all he does is put the ball in the back of the net, and, you know, that's what strikers do, is they find ways to score goals, and he's always working as well, and he has his speed, and you know, has a lot of attributes that for me, at least in the January camp, should have gotten a look. And like I said, though, it's tough, obviously, as a coach to make decisions, but for me, it's a no-brainer that Charlie should be getting a look. Some might disagree with me, but that's my opinion.
Teal, you came from a wonderful sports city in Kansas City. You're now in an outstanding, awesome sports city, but a city that wants winners, a city that puts their franchises on the spotlight when things don't go right. You know the responsibility it is playing in that city, the Celtics, the Red Sox, the Pats. I mean, I could go on and on. It is an unbelievable sports town, the Bruins as well. So to me, I think the responsibility of you and your teammates, you guys already know, you've got to put up W's right away. You've got to get back to the final, win it all to attract more and more supporters because of the city you're in, Teal.
Yeah, you're definitely right. It's about winning here, and it's a winning culture with all the sports teams, which is great as a player. You know, you're playing to win games, and obviously your fans expect a lot from you. So there's a lot of expectations, and as players, we train every week and play games to win. And so I appreciate that from the fans when they're supporting us and expect us to win, because that keeps our level up, and we kind of have to live up to that higher standard and try to improve to this great city and organization and fan base that we are winners and that we can win an MLS Cup.
Teal, I had your dad on a couple months ago. We were talking about MLS, how it's grown in leaps and bounds. I'm going to ask you as well. Minnesota's getting ready to embrace an MLS franchise, but I look at Orlando. And a friend of mine, Kyle Lauren, Rookie of the Year last year, joined us here a couple weeks ago before the big Mexico game. And we talked about the fan support in Orlando and other places like Portland and Seattle. I mean, it has gone absolutely European style. And I think this is great for the league. I think it's important for the league that it continues to grow on and off the field. When you are visiting these places, do you got to stop and say to yourself, wow, we're playing in front of 30, 40, 50,000 fans. This is outstanding. This isn't Europe. This is US of A, Canada, and this is what we need.
Yeah, this is most definitely what we need in this league, and it's been growing at a steady rate now for the past at least 6, 7 seasons that I've been in the league, and it's unbelievable to, like you said, go to Orlando or go to Portland, Seattle, and then play in front of these 30, 40,000 fans, and it just showcases how much this league has to offer, and now it's not that league where people go to retire and things like that. That it's growing, and we have a huge fan base, and it's only getting better. And obviously, there's things that could be improved, but for the most part, I mean, the fans are excited about soccer here in the U.S. and in Canada, and it shows each time when you're going on the road and playing, even at home games.
Well, I'll tell you one area where I believe it should improve, and I don't expect you to comment on this. I believe the purse strings need to be open. I really believe that the owners of different clubs should be able to go out and buy the players they want and not hold them back. And, look at China now. China has taken off. They're buying players left, right, and center. They're getting a ton of attention worldwide from bringing players and coaches. And I believe the next step of growth for MLS is to say, look, open up the purse strings here, bring over the players you want, and if the big boys want to play with the big boys and the little ones can't, so be it. I believe that's the way the league should go.
Yeah, it's tough. There's a lot of things that go into an organization and to a league. So I think at some point in time in the future, something like that might be available. But I still think there's some time before that happens, really, because there's bigger markets in this league and there's smaller markets, so I think it's a little bit tougher for those smaller markets at times to kind of attract those big name players and things like that. So I think it still has some learning and some growing to do in that aspect, but at some point in time I think it will be at that level.
Teal, just before we let you go, let me get your thoughts on the NCAA. We had on Graham Zusi a week ago. We've had on a ton of players from MLS clubs that have come through the NCAA system. I believe it's the most important system right now, funneling and helping MLS. I think it's vital to their success, and I believe that NCAA not only helps the player develop their skills and ready for the pros like MLS or Europe, but I also believe education is key and important because, look, you can only play so long, and then after that, you need to cash in that degree you got so you can start using your brain. Talk about that experience and how important it is as well, the education part.
I think the NCAA, college soccer it was great for me, and I think it's growing as well, just as this league is growing. I think a lot of players have to understand the value of going to a good school that not only has good athletics, but also is good academically, because like you said, you're only going to play this sport for for a few years compared to the rest of your life, where you're going to need a certain degree and find a different job. And, some players might stay in soccer and stay in coaching and things like that, but for the majority of guys, they're going to need to use their degree and like some people say, get a real job where it's not playing a sport or something like that. So I think college in itself is really growing, and it's great for players to utilize the college scene and getting their academics and making sure that they're taking that seriously.
Teal, as we let you go, speak to the young boys and girls out there. A lot of them are getting ready to play in the summer season, whether in the USA and Canada. And unfortunately, they're going to be stuck with some coaches that all they want to do is win that $2 medal, that $2 trophy, and not really worry about the development. What do you want to say to that young boy, young girl that's on the bench, that's not getting the proper time, the proper development, because unfortunately, the coaches have other things in mind? What do you want to say to them?
I want to say to the young players is to continue to make sure you're having fun. The biggest thing is obviously your development, and it comes from you wanting to enjoy playing soccer. And even if it's not soccer, whatever you may be doing, if it's a different sport or if it's something in school that you really enjoy, but not to be influenced by outsiders, but to listen to your family members, your parents, and to really have a good support system. And it's unfortunate that there's coaches that maybe take winning too seriously at the young age when it is really about the development and making sure that these youngsters are enjoying their soccer and trying to improve and making sure they're having fun with it. So I would just say to continue to have fun and enjoy themselves. And if you're really serious about it, you'll continue to have fun.
Outstanding. Teal Bunbury of New England Revolution, good luck against TFC. Good luck in 2016 season, my friend. And God bless, and thank you so much again for making time out of your busy schedule.
Thanks, Anthony, for having me. God bless you as well.
Class act, class individual on and off the field. He's got a big heart for his teammates, a big heart to help out the kids out there. He's wonderful, and he comes from an outstanding family. Outstanding family. That is Teal Bunbury of the New England Revolution.